Well, the city of Houston hasn't seen a storm like this one in decades.
Yeah, and that is city crews working around the clock. As you can imagine, we are glad to be joined now by Mayor Sylvester Turner.
Good morning.
Mayor, good morning. Tell us the message you have for Houstonians right now. We know this historic storm. We haven't seen something like this in decades. How much longer should we stay at home, if at all possible? How long is this going to last us?
Well, certainly through today, through tomorrow. In fact, the temperatures is going to be very, very cold, freezing throughout the day, tonight, tomorrow morning, and tomorrow as well. So let's say the next 48 hours. I'm going to continue to ask people to stay off the roads, number one. The roads are simply too treacherous, too dangerous. So please stay off the road. And then secondly, we're concerned about the power outages. Many people have gone without power since 1:30, 2 o'clock this morning. And I anticipate that if you're without power, you'll probably be without power for much of the day. So people just need to bear that in mind. And then, of course, we're very sensitive towards what I would call these critical care customers, people who need their electricity. And so where they don't have backup power generators, we're trying to do everything we can to assist them.
Mayor Turner, we know that we've seen this city really come together in times of hardship with Harvey and other weather situations. Certainly this one is very different than what we've seen in decades here in this city. You mentioned the power outages with about 500,000 people in our area that are basically sitting in their cold homes right now. I know you touched on it, but what message do you have to them right now in terms of just sort of this waiting game?
Well, I would tell them do not leave their homes. Even, for example, with some of the warming centers that we have set up, a couple of them are operating without power as well. And so the best place is to be in your home. Quite frankly, about 1/4 of CenterPoint's customers are without power. That's 700,000, close to 700,000 customers. So I think those numbers are, conservative. The reality is that you have your generation capacity that is below the demand, and some of those generation companies have gone offline, and the system for right now continues to somewhat deteriorate. I know they're working feverishly to get that power up, because it's that power that then goes to the transmission and distribution companies, and that's like CenterPoint. So we're having a problem with the generation, the power generation. And because of that, you have system failure across the state, statewide. And at one point yesterday, we were talking about rolling blackouts. We're not talking about rolling blackouts at this point. We're talking about just outright power outages. And I would like to say it would be a few hours, but I think people need to prepare themselves that we could be talking about much of today going into tomorrow. So do everything you can to keep yourself and your children, seniors, warm in a safe way. But this is not the time to venture out and try to go someplace else. Just hunker down, and we'll work together. And we'll get through this and over the next 48 hours.
Mayor, so many people were grateful to see the GRB open once again to those either experiencing homelessness or just had no shelter with heat. You've allowed not only those experiencing homelessness, but their pets as well into the GRB. What's been the response like, and are you at capacity at that shelter at this point?
We have about 459 people at the George R. Brown, along with their pets. There is still a little bit more capacity there. I think we're out of cots, but we make space. We'll make it work. There is power, for example, at the George R. Brown, but at 2 of our other warming centers, there is no power. I want to thank the volunteers. I want to thank the city staff, members of the Red Cross, for really pulling together to meet the needs of the people, especially those who are living on our streets, the homeless population, as well as others who have come to the George R. Brown. There is still room, for example, at Lakewood Church. They have advised me that they still have capacity at Lakewood for people who possibly can get there. So just like during Hurricane Harvey and previous storms, the city comes together, and we're coming together now. But the major factor, well, two things. The dangerous nature of the roads, stay off the roads, that's one. And number two, the power outages, and that's system-wide across the state. And I know that people are working as hard as they can to increase that capacity so that we can get the power back on.
And we're still imploring people to bring those pets inside. We have a couple more days of this. I know we have the Harris County Task Force who's taken cruelty calls, but that's the message, right, sir?
Yeah, 4 Ps: people, pets, plants, and pipes. And so please don't leave your animals, your pets outside in this freezing temperature. Don't do that. Bring them outside. Bring them outside. Take good care of your animals, your pets, and then check on seniors, especially those who are living by themselves. So check on them, make sure that they are managing. Explain to them. There are a lot of people, for example, that rely solely on the television. And when they don't have that power and they can't get the news from the television, for example, please pick up the phone and kind of let them know what to expect, because they may be thinking that the fact that they don't have power is only happening, to them. Yeah. So it's always good for people to know that they are not alone, that there are hundreds of thousands of people in the same or similar situation. So tell them to bundle up, but that we will get through this. So please check on them. And then, of course, if you hadn't wrapped your plants, and I that's important. And then the pipes, we're just going to hope and pray for the best. But, we've dealt with similar challenges in the past, and we have come through it, and we're dealing with this. But the next 48 hours will be important. So let's just take it 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, and we'll come out on the other side.
And there you go. Check on your neighbors, bring the dogs and cats in, and we'll get through it.
Be helpful if you can, but if not, sit tight. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner, we appreciate the update and your time this morning.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Well, our